PGL major in Poland. Gambit will be defending versus Astralis, who have something else to defend, and that is the championship. They come into this match carrying the gold. We have the Astralis camp, the fan base in front of us here.
Looks like a fast one here from the Astralis lads as they make their way into the sewers, and we can see the bomb also should be making its way through Monster soon. Just a few grenades to go in first before we see the swell of the Danish players reaching that B bomb site, and already Glaive taking down Doja, making life quite uncomfortable here for Gambit. And they'll be okay with this, though it's quite a retakeable bomb site, but the bomb is down and the pressure is now on the Gambit side.
Hobbit starting to move forward. No CTs in a flanking position. Again, often comes down to the headshots. Adren off to a good start. Two-man advantage now. Hobbit's putting in work. Another headshot for him. 2 kills in fact for Adren. And Adren will finish off the third kill. 3 kills in total for Gambit. A much-needed pistol round. Again, they've shown us that they've been good at winning these pistols, and it continues.
I wonder what their overall pistol stats are actually like in this tournament. It's pretty uncanny, isn't it? And such a great way to...
2-0 to Gambit. Astralis bringing out the AKs now. Reasonable level of utility as well. That said, only 3 smoke grenades. And that might be key depending on what they choose to do. 2 UMPs on the Gambit side. Adren going for a forward play, but forced back from flashbangs.
Just taking this one pretty easy so far indeed, our Gambit falling all the way back, giving Astralis a lot of respect in the early days. And the other thing too is that Gambit will realize that there's not much utility in a round like this where Astralis are going to get all the AK-47s, and as we can see, Astralis, they've got a bunch of smokes left, but they don't really have enough utility to clear all of these spots safely, so they're gonna have to take risks, and you can see that they are approaching this really smart. They're playing together so they can trade, and that's all they've got really going for themselves in this situation where you can't flash around all the corners and so on. So Astralis looking to make an explosive play towards A, but there's 3 players here for Gambit.
Zeus being the bait, and Mo is ready. But this is a situation that teams have seen before. We'll see how much Device commits to this. Device, a well-studied man of players and teams in Counter-Strike. May have seen his conversations with Fallen from the previous match. Adren with a flashbang there, and there's the base lay working out long. That's a nice grenade from Zeus as well, but there are more Astralis players coming, and one by one they'll fall. Bomb headed towards A. Dozier defending B on his own. Rest of Gambit ready to defend. Will the communication be there that Zeus was here previously? Zeus with the off angle, the smoke might help him. The bomb is down now, running out of bullets I think, trying to reload. Dupree's alone, a question of damage now for Dupree. 1 versus 3, can't get the spray onto either of these players, and it'll be Zeus to finally finish him off. 4 players surviving for Gambit as they move forward.
So the slow approach works a treat for Gambit in that round, and once again Astralis going to be struggling with the pistols here, and it gets a bit scary, just having Gambit's economy grow and grow and grow. So Astralis will be a bit worried about that, but it's now going to be about thinking on those orbs and when the utility really comes in as we get into that 5th round. So it's very early days for Astralis, but this is definitely the start that we need to see out of Gambit. Again, this is such a strong map for Astralis that they really need the good starts and the momentum first.
Only 2 people have kills on the Astralis team at the moment, but it's still early days. No need for concern just yet. Dozier and Hobbit in aggressive positions towards B. Hobbit doesn't want to overextend. He's got nobody covering him. Does not need to peek through short B tunnel in a round such as this. No need to give anything away. Astralis definitely don't want to give anything to them for free.
And we've seen crazy Deagle plays out of the likes of Dupree as well in the past on this map, and generally all Astralis players very capable of such things. So Gambit very happy indeed to, again, just keep everybody alive. They aren't losing any players. This is kind of scary at the moment. Astralis, though, they will get the AKs into the round, and we've got loads of utility to back those up as well. Not opting to go for any sort of no armor plays, so it's going to be what I would imagine should be a dynamic round where we get Astralis taking a lot of map control, playing out a very solid default, using their utility to clear out all these spaces, push the Gambit defense back, and maybe set themselves up for a set piece later on into the round. We'll have to see. Gambit might want to put the pressure on. This would be a good round to do so.
No CTs in the connector position. Zipex is lurking outside B for the moment, and du3's position will become important should Zipex want to head towards that short B area. He'll want to make sure no CTs come through that door and pinch the position. And does have general strength in map control as well. Nobody forward for Gambit. Adren threw a flash earlier, but from the toilets area. Not going for the aggressive peaks just yet that we expect to see from Device in the second half. And Astralis are just slowly emerging forward, almost with a diagonal line through the map. Device now heading to the boulder on long.
Yeah, starting to get closer and closer. 50 seconds left here for Astralis, and without a pick, they start being in this position where they need to think, okay, how do we actually get onto a bomb site? How do we open things up? We've got to make a committed play. We've got to extend ourselves into risk. And you can see there are a lot of risks at play here. Dren creeping through the toilets here. He's got a couple players nearby. And there's a very nice frag there. Spots the bomb as well, I believe. So really good info. Dren's not going to stop there. Gets himself number 2 as well. And now Astralis, they need to make huge plays. It's Zipex at B. Can he be the one to bring Astralis back into this round?
du3 in the short B position as well. Dozier really fighting, but he can't quite get it done. And neither can Hobbit. There's still 3 Ts remaining. 3 CTs remaining as well. du3 taking some fire damage, but he's still alive. He's got some nice angles, but he's got to be careful. Backing into the flames again. Now he's in the red. That's a lovely second headshot there, leaving Mo alone, waiting for the smoke to go. du3 must be close enough to hear the scope. If Mo knew that both players were in the red, maybe the pistol comes out, misses Zipex. Time running out for the man. The grenades is gonna do the job. Out with the pistol now, Mo. Sees du3, and there's the second kill. Has he got time to defuse the bomb, though? It's been quite ticked. Yeah, he's fine. 5 rounds. Gambit keep the clean sheets.
I actually think Mo actually had no idea that he was going to clutch that. He's like, I think it's just like cutting a couple of deagle shots. Wait a second. That guy was actually super low. This is insane. Mo picking up a really important clutch there. But Adren, the guy who's just absolutely murdering Astralis there in this round. 3 really insane AK shots there. We see the first one being so crucial as to get the information. Wins the trade. He knew that was going to be coming his way as soon as he gets that first frag. Reveals his position. And again, that precision from Adren. He looks very on point at the moment. And again, everybody has to be firing on all cylinders here to deal with the likes of Astralis, the title holders.
So he said, keep an eye on Mo and Device. Mo 7 for 1. Device is 0 for 5 at the moment. They will need to get him in the game in this first half if they want to pull up a nice score. Maximum loss bonus territory for the Ts. The bomb plant gives them even more money. And there's 5 AKs here for Astralis. Gambit again. Not overextending, trying to be careful. Some warning shots for Zeus. He may not re-pick that for a while. Zeus, Dozier, and Hobbit all around the B bomb site. Putting these smokes down. They've been good at holding onto smokes. 1 minute 10. They've got 3 smokes in the bag after just deploying 1 and a fair few Molotovs as well. So they've got some nice delay tactics for Astralis as they bunch around the B bomb sites.
And I really like this change of approach from Gambit. After having lots of players, like often 3 towards A, they've now got 3 towards B for the first time. And we can see that Astralis, perhaps, still thinking about how the previous setups were working. Maybe they don't have enough information to understand there's been a change yet. They might walk into this 3-man setup, and Gambit seem very, very ready for this. They're really holding a few tight positions here around short and also around the monster tunnels. So Astralis, they can definitely get in there, but they're going to have to hit some really great shots on the entry fragging scenario. And there it is. Hobbit with the spray down. He gets himself 2 with the help of Dozier. Kirby though with the trays. That's what Astralis need. They're into the B-bomb site now, but it's slow and the rotation is coming.
Zeus really needs to stay alive here. Mo with a god grenade again. 2 on 2. There are 12 seconds for this bomb to get planted. Both CTs on the high ground, which means the bomb plant will be successful. Mo holding an angle, making sure that nobody crosses towards that shack. They know where the Ts aren't, but do they know where the Ts are? Both moving to the short B position. Adren's got to be very careful. That's a very dangerous place to peek from. Moving forward now, no more grenades left for the CT side. They've got to win these duels. And there are off angles being held, the pre-fire from Adren, but how does he get the bomb defused in a situation? Mo, successful spray there, and it's Adren to beat Kiabi. They both win their duels, 6-0 Gambit.
James, Gambit are actually looking really strong right now. Just when I'm looking at Adren now, I just see this guy. I'm like, this guy's just going to win every duel. That's just how it's going so far. How long can he keep that up against the caliber of players in the Astralis camp? It's kind of insane. A 6-0 start, perfect hit for Gambit, able to of course keep a lot of money alive in a lot of situations too, and doing an effective job trading there as Astralis push the B bomb site. But let's not forget as well that Gambit were expecting that push. They had 3 members on the bomb site. Astralis still were able to take the bomb site, even with those disadvantages. So even though on the rounds it looks bad for them, they've been doing some work in some of these rounds now, just when they get those guns. And we haven't seen really the change of approach just yet from Astralis, where we get the AWP from Device. They play a slower, more pick-based style. We'll see them trying to take down the defense around the A area. It's going to be interesting when we start to see that. Could be this round, in fact, now as Device does pick up an AWP. But again, you know, we haven't seen Mo going super aggressive with the AWP yet. And I know it's coming at some point. I'm just wondering when that's going to be.
For now, it might be business as usual for Gambit. Astralis, second round in a row, they've got the bomb down. I mean, these rounds have gone down to the wire. And those late HE grenades have definitely helped Gambit. Made life a lot easier after damage done elsewhere. Again, Gambit starting with 3 people in the B bomb site. And this time, there are forward positions from Gambit towards the long area. Adren playing for support, in support for Mo. And Adren's facing the wall, so if a flashbang comes and flashes Mo, he can spin around and offer a response on the CT side. That's why he's facing the wall here. Hasn't been told off by Zeus.
Astralis make their way close, but there is this aggression we were waiting for from Gambit. Ready to come in, Adren expecting to be flashed by Mo into this position perhaps to get a good peek off. Actually going to round the angle and finds Kirby. Ready for it though as Kirby gets the kill onto Adren. It's a great start here for Astralis. They've got a minute to play with too, so plenty of time. We've got map presence towards B, but forget that. We've got Dupree with the entry. However, Zeus is still holding it down, slowing them down, but maybe not for too long. Device gets himself in there as well. Now it's a 2 versus 4, and Gambit have a really hard task on their hands.
And they've only committed 1 player to this A bomb site, which is Hobbit. So even 2 versus 4, they split up 1 by 1. And Dozier has not moved an inch. So I don't know what Hobbit's plan is in this situation, because he's maybe looking for some kind of hero play on his own. But as time ticks, surely he will be saving. Is it a question of damage? Maybe it is. And Dozier's just perhaps just didn't agree with the situation. Just being handsome on the B bomb site as Astralis head towards their first round. They survive with 4 players as well, which is really key in this situation, because there's no one with $1,000 in the bank right now for Astralis. If they win with 1, 2 people alive, then that's a big opportunity for Gambit to compound the problems for Astralis by resetting them in the next round. But they'll have some cash with which to weather a potential storm. 6-1 Gambit.
Astralis doing a great job there just on the defense, and really some of those aggressions to get themselves that good start previously. But again, what's Gambit going to bring to the table? This is a map that allows the CTs to do a lot of funky stuff early in the round, so you've got to really have your wits about you. As we see a forward smoke there, and indeed Mo looking for perhaps an aggressive pick there as he is going to be scanning the angles. There you go, Kirby's down. And that's a bad look for Astralis early into the round, but there is plenty of time at the very least to try to right the ship.
It's really important for Gambit not to have a player picked off early. The previous rounds, Adren, he was almost being baited by the footsteps around the party area, was really patient, but Kiabi knows what those footsteps mean as well, and he was able to pick Adren off. If Gambit can avoid losing somebody in the first minutes, it'll make life a lot easier going forward. They lead with a man advantage in this round as we hit the minute mark. Minute remaining. Dozier towards a barrel position on B. And this time we've got 2 players in B for Gambit, but Zeus could rotate quickly enough.
A good setup here from Astralis. They've got that positioning towards B ready. They're not going to opt to have any lurkers towards. They're going to use all 4 players to get into this B bomb site. The counter grenades, though, very annoying for Gambit. The rotation's already coming for them as well. They understand what's happening on the map. This is really, really awesome for the Gambit's perspective. Again, just slowing Astralis down, buying themselves time, but the bomb will still be planted, and shots can still be taken here. As we've got dupreeh looking over the crates there, trying to find these CTs. It's going to look really good for Gambit. The 2 frags from them, and just dupreeh to defend the bomb against 4. It's going to be a tough one here. Gets himself the first frag. Still more to be had there as the team flash goes in. dupreeh could have players coming from all sides, so he's got to be so careful. More grenades as well as the defuse will be pressured. Those counter grenades, James, very, very effective in holding Astralis off. Even though they got the bomb down, it was very tough to hold on to that position.
The plants will allow Astralis to buy once again, but this is very rough territory for Astralis. This is a pick of Astralis. Gambit chose Inferno as the second map. And indeed, Gambit are looking pretty strong. And this is the performance we need to see from Gambit. They need to have a dominating scoreline going into the second half to give themselves the best opportunity to pull away. Mo is 12-4-2 at the moment. Zipex and Device are still both on 1 kill each. So Gambit making this really hard again. Just need to avoid the early pick of Astralis. Zeus in connector. This is somewhat dangerous for him. He's got limited support on the upper ground. See dupreeh. It's been a joy to watch dupreeh's burst fire in this game so far. Mo's been picked off towards the toilet position by Device. So there's that early pick. Now let's see if Astralis can capitalize on this, if they can convert this into a round.
And Device might be able to get another one as well. We've got some interest here from Gambit in trying to find him. And he's going to be rattling off another op shot. So he's sort of given his position away in the sense that he's providing that presence towards A, which will likely keep Gambit towards B here. But that's a beautiful position from Hobbit there, looking in onto the rotation device. They now know that the AWPer did rotate, so that's a huge cue that it's going to be B here. And if that wasn't enough, we've got Glaive there with the Tech 9 running rampant on that B bomb site. Hobbit trying to survive in the water position, but it's not going to be good enough. It's a 2-player retake here for Gambit.
This is not looking easy for them. How much do they commit to this? Doesn't look like much. Sees Zeus look at his teammate, probably saying, let's get the hell out of Dodge. Astralis, a very key round for them to win. And again, a situation where they've got mere hundreds in the bank. They look to survive with 4 players. They've done some good damage to the Gambit economy, so Gambit tries to hold on to what they have as well. Very big round for Astralis to win, and the comeback is most certainly on. And again, if you look at the CT rounds, the last 3 rounds the CTs have won, all by defuse. So Astralis, they keep getting to this point. They can just change a few situations here and there. Maybe consistent success will come their way. Lots of opportunity for this half to be close, despite how it looks at the moment. And the AWP will continue for Device, being dropped by Izabex in this round. 7-2, and you'll see the shortcomings in the buy from Gambit, who've just gone for a tactical timeout. I've seen a Nova on the map, Dan. There is a Nova. Somewhere.
It's there, James. We can only hope that someone picks it up, gets into that connector position. We don't see enough Novas these days. I feel like it's decreased, maybe because of the UMP prevalence. You see less love for the Nova. I know you're a man that's a fan
I love me some shotguns, yeah. I own a Nova. But we see some auto shotgun now. Yeah. Fer will often pull out the also shorty. Makes me happy inside.
And again, this is such a fun map, I think, for teams to play at a professional level, just because there's so much opportunity to do stuff on the CT side, which you can't say for all maps. A map like Train, it can be a bit more awkward. A map like Cobblestone, very awkward as well. But Overpass, you can get as aggressive as the T's. You can take as much impact in the early round with your pressure as the T's could on in any conventional map here. And this is what might be happening here. We've got a Dren just in the smoke there. This could be quite interesting. Motor support, and also another player there in A long. Hobbit looking to get in, and Dren's going to go through with a flashbang. A little bit missed time perhaps, but Hobbit's there to pick up the pieces as he goes for the spray. But what is this? Glaive getting himself the frag regardless, but there's the Nova, James. Big Popper Pump makes an appearance there in connector.
Yeah, but they're still in a less than ideal situation. Mo making life easier, but Kirby will look for him towards the long area. Mo's not at the advantage with a peak like that, but he makes it work. Gambit, perhaps they have an ace up their sleeve. Device and Zipex on opposite ends of the map. Device looking for an opening, moving around a boulder, and Dozier will give it to him, down to the 2-1-2. They have no idea where Zipex is. He could be flanking them from CT spawn for all they know. And the CTs, they've given up the bomb because they know their positions could be compromised.
Yeah, you've got 50 seconds, Astralis. There's plenty of time to work out what you want to go for. It's a difficult situation for Gambit too, and you can see they've decided, okay, you know, let's just play this safe. We don't have the information. Let's stay together. It's going to be harder to retake A. Let's just hold there for now. Play good rotations and allow Astralis to work the map. There's not too much else they can do from this point, and Astralis might be cutting it a bit close on the time, but they should be okay here as they make their way through. Actually, are they going to go towards B here? Indeed, going down connector through the door. Gambit do have a man on the site though, who's quite weak, and Mo is looking in. Looks like they have the sound cue. And Mo looks for the cross, hits the first shot. Device's head is sent somewhere very far away, but Zipex will still get the trade and the bomb down.
Oh, Zeus down from the nade. He was the critical player in that situation, and now Mo is at a distinct disadvantage. Looking the wrong way in the smoke, but he still lands the kill. Gambit, that is absurd. 4K for Mo, absolutely destroying Astralis in that round. They started with a Nova. They started with a friggin' Nova, Dan, and they've somehow won the round. 16-3 is Mo.
Unreal, isn't it? It's a crazy situation. 8-2, that's a really solid scoreline here for Gambit on their CT side. And again, for me, it's all about how well Gambit can play on their CT side, just because of how scary Astralis' CT side is. And now we can see Mo in the replay working that AWP here, working those angles. His flicks, his precision is just so on point. These shots are incredible. Mo, I think at this tournament, has shown that he is absolutely world class. A world beater is this player, and this is one of the reasons Gambit is so far. But we can see now, as we go into the next round, already taking fast information, and they might discover now that indeed Astralis are moving towards Suez and B.
So again, Gambit are continuing with a forward pace and more aggression. But I think they're playing into the hands of Astralis by doing this. And if you look at Glaive's position right now, he is just waiting for a push to come in from connector. He sees Zeus, he's hungry for it. He is salivating for a flank, but Astralis almost with a read that Gambit will eventually overextend. So what does Zeus do in this situation now? Seems the T's will make their way down into the connector position, but there are kills coming elsewhere. And indeed, they're all getting picked off with this aggression. This is what I worry about for Gambit. The early picks for Astralis. They've only got 2 rounds right now, but there's still opportunity for a reasonable score for the T side. And this would break the money of the CTs, I'm pretty sure. 2 versus 5. 3 unanswered frags for Astralis.
I think Mo, in seeing that player at A-Long, is thinking, okay, it really feels like seeing a player A-Long when there's 5 alive, there's only 2 of us left, probably indicated to him that there would be a play towards A, but you can see Astralis, they just held their positions, they're not really making any moves, they're looking for any further indications of pushes from Gambit. Astralis trying to play this really safe, even in the 5 versus 2. Trying to avoid any risks here, trying to play perfect counter-strike, and you can see they're just jumping across here. Mo can't quite find a pick-off. Ooh, getting a bit crazy there with the wallbang attempt. Won't work out for him, and it won't work out for Hobbit either, taking one in the face courtesy of Kirby. Device finds Mo as well, steals away his AWP. He wants another one of those, he'll have to purchase one again, and the money is not good enough to do that. Astralis have actually finally got there. They've broken this insane amount of money that we saw from Gambit previously.
Yeah, I think Gambit may be trying to change the pace, change the approach before they get figured out, but Astralis were just waiting for them to do that, and it pays off in absolute spades. Nothing left for Gambit. Finally, the AWP has been taken away from Mo, and Astralis will look to fill his death column. That is a lovely swipe from Device. A confident swipe. But again, 8-7 is still possible, and I think at this point, that would be a bad score for Gambit, considering what was possible. Time will tell. Important duck there from Kirby. That could have been fatal.
Yeah, I was afraid there. That looked like a team kill in the making for sure. And I like how decisive this round has been from Astralis. You know, sometimes teams trying to play it a bit too safe. They don't decisively get themselves onto a bomb site, but that's exactly what we see from Astralis. And nothing is going to in an untoward manner here so far. So Device just trying to seek out the remainder of Gambit, and he'll be successful. Just Mo remains with that deagle of his lurking around the A-long area. So it might be a while till he sees any action, and perhaps he won't see any action at all. Still no bomb down from Astralis. Again, you can see how they're trying to play this incredibly safe, literally just taking no risk whatsoever here, not rushing anything. They've got time, they're going to use it.
Mo sitting in the long area with his deagle.
Contemplating life, perhaps.
Indeed.
It's a nice area to do that. It's lots of nice trees and so on. I think there's a picnic spread there as well.
So this is, I think this is a pretty bad spot for Gambit. Not just because they don't have any money right now, but I feel like Astralis are in a good position to just run them over for the remainder of the round, especially like if Gambit are short of money and they choose to compensate for that by being overly aggressive, then I think that will play into the strengths of Astralis. When Gambit were being passive, you saw du3 on short B, just trying to find openings. That's not necessarily how Astralis would like to play, so maybe you'll be at your strongest as an opponent with them forced to play in such a situation. But there we go, the buy is back in for Gambit. Mo's got enough for the AWP. He's got the best spawn possible for an aggressive peek as well. So we'll see if he heads in that direction. UMP's coming out on multiple players. And Dozy with the FAMAS. Limited grenades from Gambit. We'll see if his use continues into connector. It seems like that might be the case. Adren there as well. So it is aggression from Gambit. But will Astralis be prepared for us again?
And Glaves there, ready, waiting, AK in hands. He's he'd love a peek right now, but it's going to be du3 to pick up the first kill here, taking down Hobbits. du3 will go down though in his attempt, but this is really awesome that you have a player like du3, he can make a play. Going 1-for-1 early on in the round for the T side is amazing. That's the problem though. Mo makes a play towards the toilets, and Gambit, you can see they're suffocating Astralis around the A side of the map right now, and they're enclosing around on all sides. Astralis really forced to go into B here, and they have to really trade effectively because there's Gambit in great rotation position. Zeus by the door here as we see Kirby taking down Dozia. The timing is so good there from Zeus. Straight out the door, straight into Kirby's face, and now the pressure comes in from shorts.
Mo is smoked off on the high ground, so Zeus has got to do a lot. Got to try and run distraction and slow these players down, allow the rest of his team to get into position. And now maybe Astralis can try and plant the bomb with that smoke. Finally down, it's Zepex with an off angle, but it's only Zepex now. 3 versus 1, 3 versus none. A 2-man kill for Dren on the site. Difficult situation for Astralis. I did wonder if they would figure out the likely setup of Gambit as Gambit get those kills from their particular positions. 9-4. Gambit can still have a strong half here, but Astralis are back on the bye. Of course, Gambit being the underdog in this situation, coming into the match. That is, obviously, it looks good for them right now. But even 11, 5 rounds would be a lot to get versus Astralis. But then again, Gambit have been king of pistols so far in this tournament. But we're not there just yet. Astralis still on the bye. Good utility, 5 AKs out. No fast aggression from du3. Limited by that Molotov, but I'm sure he'll head and try and get some more picks towards the bomb site, where there are 4 Gambit players.
Yeah, Gambit with a good read on this one, indeed. Having great positions here, but it's all about hitting those shots as well, isn't it? As we have the Astralis side readying a push in. They've got the grenades starting to sail in. Glaive going for the entry, able to catch one. That's about 5 frags in a single second. Absolute madness here. Mo gets himself 2. A third from Mo. Not going to stop anytime soon here. And there it is, number 4. Can this man be stopped when he has an AWP in his hands? Gambit with another round.
21 for 4. Mo is harvesting organs and chewing on eyeballs at the moment. We move to the last round of the first half. Astralis still have money for the bye. Almost every round after the pistol has been a diffused win for Gambit, but a win is a win. Who cares how it comes? That is a man who knows he is on fire at the moment. And he will be towards that long position. 3 Ts around the balloon area, but the party is definitely over. Zipex picking off Dozier. I'm not sure if he was going for a push-free monster. Either way, Dozier's dead. Hobbit left alone towards B.
That's a great shot there from Device. Beautiful boost coming in from the Astralis boys as we see now having that 4 versus 3 advantage with over a minute left. That's the dream on the T side. You've got so much space to work with the CTs, either forced to take a really huge risk in an aggression or forced to play sort of retake setups, as we can see here. 2 players towards A for Gambit. They've only got 1 on B. Astralis can, if they decide to, go all together and trade their way to success here. But Mo, indeed, this is the aggressive play that you got to see someone make, and Mo, definitely the man to do it here for the Gambit side, but you can see that doesn't like that engagement anymore. It's going to back away, feeling, out where a couple players are for Astralis. Some extra information, but Astralis now go for the rotation to B, and with that entry from Zipex, the bomb will go down.
2 on 4. Mo, what do you have left in you? This is looking very unlikely. Bullets flying through the smoke at him. Now's Youth, maybe trying to run destruction, trying to find something, anything, but he can't quite do it. Smoke down on the low ground. Such delays. Both Gambit players, though, they have kits, but 2 versus 4. So many targets to find. How do you not get traded in this situation? Device, no Shadow giving his position away just yet, and that bomb is very, very ticked. 2 fast shots from Kirby will give Astralis their 5th round on the board as we move to half-time.
Yeah, you really have to give it to Astralis here. They've been fighting tooth and nail, haven't lost their composure. They've managed to get a good minimum. That 5-round mark is a good amount of rounds to work from. The thing, though, James, is that so far, Gambit Gaming have a perfect record in pistol rounds in the playoffs of this major. They've won 5 for 5 pistol rounds so far. They're going across the quarters against Fnatic, and so far the first pistol of today. Will they make it 6 for 6? Because if they do, of course, that's going to put Astralis in hot water, and they're going to want to avoid that absolutely.
Pistol round time. The second half is with us. 600,000 people watching for this. See if the comeback is on for Astralis or if Gambit will remain perfect in pistol rounds. All Kevlar for the Ts. Looks like a fast round from them. Will they all barrel through the monster position? In fact, many will be through short, closing down that distance. Sound will be heard, and Astralis are very out of position. They've got 3 players on long. Maybe they'll have a flank later, but Zipex is forced back into a corner.
This is bad. He can't get that fast kill that you want. They're jumping at him, and the jaws are Gambiting, closing around Zipex, but still somehow he staves them off. He keeps them at arm's length as his teammates now come in to assist him, and we see Gambit forced to take defensive positions, down 2 men, but with the bomb ticking away. Definitely still anyone's at this point. We've got Kirby coming in for the blanket monster now as we see Gambit desperately trying to hold onto the water, but Dupree jumping in like a superhero from above it. It's down to Mo, but he can't do it. And indeed, that streak of pistols has been broken by none other than Astralis. A must-win round for them that has now been collected, and that is a huge burden off their shoulders.
A surgical, patient retake from Astralis. Maybe part of the benefit of being able to stack 3 people in long is knowing what you do if it's plan B. Retake the B bomb site. Gambit, they planted the bomb in the previous round, and it looks like they will wait for the AKs in the next one. A Deagle on Mo, the rest on P250s. Astralis will look to build some money in this round. 3 UMPs in the bag, along with an M4 and a French gun on Kirby. Gambit taking the long routes, quite literally, with 3 players. They're going for a garden stroll. They want to smell the flowers. And the Dren's got pretty close to the bullets as well, so there may be quite a challenge here for Astralis.
Yeah, we've seen crazy stuff with these Deagles on rounds like this. It looks unintimidating, but then someone like Mo turns up and he caps Device in the face there. That is quite annoying for Astralis, losing a bit of money there, but they still can get a rotation in. We've got some great counter grenades here, just slowing the approach, allowing the likes of Dupree to get in there, also get the players out of B and into the A bomb site. And so even though they get that kill, they can't really retrieve the gun. We've got a great containment here with the likes of Dupree at the back. So smooth sailing, it looks like, for the Astralis side, but Dozier still picks up an additional kill here. However, it will be 3 players surviving for Astralis in the end. And this may have been, James, the first comfortable round Astralis have had all over past long. The first half was such a struggle.
It's good damage, though. Good damage done by Gambit, considering the investment. Limited grenades for the Gambit side. What is their plan? How do they open up this round? Astralis better equipped for the most part. 2 UMPs continue for the Astralis side. They will play with confidence. Device moving forward. No sniper for him. He's just with the M4, but seems he will have a look anyway. Grenade sails in, and Zeus will be the recipient, the sole recipient of it, and Device is all the way back to A, all the way back. In the meantime, Astralis have made a stronghold of the B bomb site. Kiabi and Dupree with a short B take. They've cleared it out, dropped the smoke, and in fact, they're going to play the extra man by abandoning it completely and rotating the numbers back towards A.
And Gambit just checking everything here. Adren missing an opportunity, although of course a very hard opportunity to capitalize upon, but you can see Astralis can really feel the pressure here. They understand that Gambit have all this positioning towards A at the moment, and they're quite convinced they obviously have a player in the sewers position, which gives Astralis all the information they need that, okay, Gambit are likely going A. Should there be if there's going to be a fake, it's very high risk from Gambit because they don't have players in position to do it. They don't have the grenades to do it. So right now, Astralis know what's going to arrive soon, and it will be that A play. It's just a question of when Gambit will do it and a question of whether or not they'll get those fast entries. Because if they don't, I'm not sure there's a chance here for Gambit. It's going to be a very tough and awkward affair, but Mo kicks it off well.
2 players in long, including Dozier with the bomb. He hasn't been spotted just yet. The flashbang, the one flashbang Gambit had, has got them onto the site. There's Kiabi picked off. 25 seconds, Dupree coming in for the flank, but Hobbit's waiting for him in the meantime. Hobbit with perfect positioning. 4-round lead for Gambit. Massive round for them. 25-8. Mo is 25-8. The nearest person to him has 11 kills on his team.
What a beast. This is crazy for me too as well, because we all knew Gambit was a very good team, James. But today it almost seems like they're a new team, like they've gone Super Saiyan and they've reached the next stage of their evolution, and we're seeing some insane stuff that's absolutely savage there from Mo, not messing around at all. Having an amazing time in the booth here today so far on stage, here live in Krakow at the Major, and it's a fairly comfortable buffer of rounds that Gambit now have over Astralis, and it could get even more comfortable now as Astralis are indeed relegated to just nothing but some pistols. A sad time for them here in this round. It will be difficult for them to get any damage done, but let's see if they find a way to do so. Gambit are running a nice anti-eco here and will get themselves quickly onto A.
I love that position. I don't think it's used enough. I feel like if you have somebody watching Connector, you could put a sniper up there, or someone with a silenced M4 looking towards the party area. But I don't really see it. 2 Astralis players left. Zipex barely hanging on at this point. And by this point, Gambit should know that they're pretty much fighting against USP, so it's there's reasonable risk into chasing these kills and not much to get out of them. But they'll clean up the round. 12-7. Never count Astralis out.
James, Mo has 28 frags now. It's a bit ridiculous. The closest fragger to him on his team is Hobbit, Adren, and Zeus, who all have 11. That's quite a difference, James.
I did mention this 2 kills ago.
This is insane, though. It's really just sinking at this point.
It's good, but it only counts if they win the map. Device is on the AWP. He is up to his usual nonsense. Or is he? You'd expect him to look over the smoke. Mo has a nice angle though, so it's a good thing he's not. In the meantime, there's a fight for short B, which is being won by the CTs. I don't know how Hobbit escaped from that situation. I guess everybody was blind. He is very lucky, and that's some valuable information for his team, but they know that that's a personnel investment to make a play like that for Astralis. Is there somewhere for Gambit to exploit in the meantime?
And they are looking for some position, some spot to exploit. That is for sure, but it's going to be Astralis, perhaps with some exploitation soon. They're going to take away sewers from Gambit. This is a really important play as well to have positioning there, and there are players for Gambit that might try to take this position soon here. So looks like this round could come to a head very shortly, as we'll see Mo trying to meet the Astralis players on A, as well as this engagement that could perhaps happen towards B. Looks like actually Astralis give up short and Gambit will actually win the day there. So this is really good for Gambit. They've got so much positioning here, and I'm really surprised to see that no one so far has been picked off, to be honest.
Yeah, 40-second mark. Gambit have got good map control, but Kiabi is ready to fight using the distraction of his teammate, but Mo's there to punish the reposition. The bomb has not been spotted just yet. Dupree wondering what's going on towards a short B position, and Zipex may rotate towards A in the meantime. Dupree sees nothing. There will be a three-man defense here on A. There are gaps in the smoke in more than one direction, but there's the extra smoke. Glaive doesn't quite have the angle, but does he see the foot? Does he see the shadow? Either way, the bomb is down. Dupree looking to flank again.
And Glaive just in his position, and it's always a tough one. You know exactly what's up. This setup of the T's is so deadly as they all go back towards the toilet position, and that exposed plant becomes such a problem. Glaive looking to see what he can do here, though, as he waits for his teammates to come in, but it's not going to go too well. Adren with a kill, Mo with a kill, and it could soon be Dupree dead, but he will be able to catch Zeus on the rotation, but there's nothing he can do now to win the round against Gambit. It's 3 left, and that bomb is in such a strong position here. Another round going Gambit's way. They're going to move to 13 rounds. They're getting so close to taking map 1 against Astralis.
Mo is 30 for 8 now. He has the kind of score that you have when a pro plays matchmaking. That's the score he has right now. 30 for 8.
If you consider that it's just 20 rounds played as well, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
Time out for Astralis, and they are a team who are running out of time to claw things back on Overpass. The pick of Astralis. The second map will be Inferno. We'll see if it goes beyond that point, the way Gambit are playing at the moment. Lots of talk in the booths. But it's Gambit doing the talking on the server. 3 rounds in a row for them now. And Astralis, they have $2,000 to $2,500 in the bank. There is not much defending they can do in this situation, which means Gambit are likely to go to 14 rounds. Double the score of Astralis.
Yeah, Astralis are in a position where they have accepted at this point, and timeout is definitely a good way to just run that process where they won't have any margin for error, absolutely none. So we'll see if they can find a way against a Gambit that just seems to have a crazy level of momentum at the moment. Mo being the operative part of that word in the momentum that Gambit have, and that's a good opener there from Adren, taking down Dupree, looking for more as well. It's actually Mo to get tagged down to 34, but Gambit have a great movement together as they go up the A-long position, and it's very hard when the T's move in this way for you to really exploit that as the CTs. You can't catch them off guard, really.
That M4 could not be further away from the CTs, but they may hunt for it. Zeus and Hobbit holding formation for the time being, and Gambit not quite committing to anything just yet, but Astralis are huddling around. However, Kiabi is the only man that doesn't have a stock pistol, and there Kiabi goes, waiting for Zipex to come out. Very patient play from Gambit. Very patient indeed. Now it is last chance saloon for Astralis. Half the score of their opponents. Device on the AWP once more. Hasn't really been able to get anything going in this match just yet. He has got 14 kills, but we haven't seen the vintage Device we've seen in previous matches. Again, he's got the one of the best spawns possible going towards the fountain position. Will he look over the smoke once again?
And that's the thing. It can be very easy to play too defensively in this position because you're like, oh, we can't make a mistake. But if the risk is the right play, you've got to go for it. And that's the mindset Astralis need to be in, and I'm sure that they are in, as they have a forward setup here towards the A side of the map here, looking for a good first kill. It could be Kirby here. He's very close, but you can see that they are wary of this position on Gambit. They're going to clear it out. They're going to actually catch him running back towards connector. Glaive there on coverage, but he only gets one, actually 2 there. The Flames will get Adren. That's very important. A 3 versus 3 here for the Astralis side after only a mere 30 seconds have passed in the round. definitely a good situation to come back from.
How does he miss that shot, Device? It's one of the common positions AWPers will hold, and Mo was looking for the low ground. There's a free kill for Device, but doesn't seem to be on his game at the moment. Hobbit still outside Monster for the time being, and dupree's in short B. Astralis must win this round, and they have to win with 3 players intact. Gambit have bags of money. Hold on a second. Okay, someone's got to get back and get the bomb, and that's happening at the moment. Hobbit's made his way in, but does he check short B properly? dupree behind the sandbags. Zeus will be coming through soon as well. Hobbit's got to be really careful here. This round is on a knife edge. Hobbit sees him. The timing works out for him. The grenade sails in. And the cavalry will soon be making their way towards the B bomb site. dupreee eventually facing, not sure where to look, and it's Zeus. Horrible timing for Astralis. Only the Bex remains. Stereo kills for Gambit as they move to game point.
(15-7). That's an incredible scoreline from Gambit. I love the patience in that last round from Hobbit in his position, waiting for his teammates to come in. And as soon as they did a coordinated strike, everyone was dead just straight away when Gambit decided to push in. That's a very confident way to win a round in a 3v3, and now it's down to UMPs here for Astralis. It could hardly be worse for them. Let's see if they can find a way. They've got a couple players on the toilets position, in fact 3 in total. And Gambit's very focused here, crossing their T's, dotting their I's, making sure that no position, no rock is unturned, nothing's unchecked, that there's no way for Astralis to catch them by surprise as they move together through to a long now, still searching for a Dane. But there's none to be found just yet.
dupree's made his way into short B again. And Astralis in these rounds, they've been in and out of that position. We'll come back to it later because there's a big round, a big duel there. Dozy are losing the bomb to Kiabi, but there's another player there towards that long area. They can pitch these players, but he's not committing just yet. I think it's Mo that long area, and they're coming in with the frags. Astralis could this be the start of something for the CT side? All of a sudden, they get themselves into a much better spot. AK is being collected by the CTs, but again, there is money. There is a lot of money on this Gambit team. Adren with $10,000 in the bank. Astralis, they need everything. A timeout from Gambit.
Yeah, picking up the AWP as well, such a big deal here for Astralis. This is the way back in, but again, we're just waiting, I think, for Mo to get a bit crazy again, see if he can find that fire that he had in so many of the previous rounds. And Gambit must be feeling on top of the world at the moment, but as you said, it's not done until it's done.
They're not on top of the world, Dan. They've got their fingers atop of the mountain, but they're still hanging off the side. It's not done until it's done. 15-8. The full buy is here for Gambit. The AWP for Mo, everybody else on the AKs. They've got all the tools for the job. The only limitation is with Astralis. I'm sure dupreee would love an M4 or even an AK for some nice burst fire, but he will have to settle for a UMP. At least for him, he may have the close quarters engagements. But it's Glaven towards short now, and Hobbit wins the duel. Got to be careful though, Kiabi is lurking towards connector. There's nobody there to hold the angle on the door. He's got to be really careful about that, and he is exposed the way he's standing. But Kiabi, he seems to be going for a flank instead.
And this is really huge. Someone, again, needs to make a play in this situation. Kirby's found the perfect place, the unlooked position, the spot where Gambit have no presence, and he's snuck his way in there. He's got a deep position. His teammates can just rely on him to get information, but he's probably going to get some kills here as well. Catches Adren off guard. There's 2 players in pursuit now. How much can Kirby get? He's going to try to escape here. There's going to be a very difficult escape, and it won't happen. Hobbit shuts him down, and now Gambit, they rally themselves towards this B area. This is going to be a tough site now for Astralis to hold with a mere 3 players, and if you look how much utility Gambit can throw in, they should be able to take the bomb site.
Astralis can have a good read that it's a B play, but there was a minute on the clock at that time. So Device is still being towards A, only now rotating. Mo going for a peek. We've got close quarters here, and Dozier has to check that, but he's got someone else to deal with as well. Dupree will get taken down. Damage done though, and that rotation is in. Device is in play now. 30 seconds. Gambit can afford some time to fight before this bomb goes down. 2 plays in the red for the T side, but they need the kills, Astralis.
Good follow-up there coming in from Zipex. It was a connection to by Device there through the bottom of the floor. We'll see whether lots of us can get more. There it is. The bomb is down. 13 seconds to go. It has to be collected. The frags have to be made. But it's Zipex to make the kills here. It's just Zeus who remains now, looking for a way in. There's 2 players here. He'll get 1. No time for the bomb plant at this point. It's done. All Device has to do is survive, and he'll do so, looking to make it worse here, trying to catch Zeus as he retreats. Zeus will survive, but it's the round here for Astralis. They keep themselves in this one.
There's still money on Gambit, but it's starting to run low. Suddenly the grenades disappear from their inventory, but what a credit to Zipex for holding on that long, for delaying a master of the B bomb site. And now Device looking to get back to old tricks, but he'll be denied for the time being. Backing off with QRB. Zipex with some dirty tricks. There's Device puncturing Dozier. Astralis with momentum.
Yeah, 2 great kills from them. And the crazy thing too is that Gambit, they've got obviously only just 1 round to win to take this map, so it allows them, it affords them the opportunity to run all kinds of crazy strategies as time goes on, as their round loss bonus builds as well. But this round is not done just yet. Mo's still alive, looking for picks with an AWP here. He'll be smoked off, and one thing I've liked about Gambit's play is how they've been generally dealing with Device, always a flashbang for any position he's been holding. So they've made his life very difficult, but again, he was successful in this round. I wonder if Mo can just spot something there. Did he see the barrel of the gun? Yes, he sees the barrel. It's a tease, though. Looking for the warband, gets it onto Device. Down to 25 as the smoke dissipates. It's Kirby looking for it, but it's Mo to get it. As we'll have 2 players here in a situation against 4 defenders. Maybe it's doable now. Dren with a kill.
40 seconds. Don't have the personnel for fakes, but they've got time to try to consider their conditions. Astralis will try to consider their options, sorry. Astralis will try to force their will, to impose their will on these players. And there's the flank from Dupree. Zipex with the first kill, Dupree with the second. Double figures for Astralis. 5 rounds away now from overtime.
Great support here from the crowd for Astralis to make this comeback a reality. A mere 5 rounds away, a team with so much composure and focus and championship quality in them. Let's see if they can get themselves another good start here. We get that aggressive play from Device, looking over the smoke. No flashbang to deny him this time, but there's no players to be found, unfortunately, for him. As Gambit are playing very passively here, really slowing down their round. And Astralis, after seeing nothing quickly towards A, they themselves are moving back into very defensive positions, not looking to get picked off anytime soon.
This is an interesting buy from Gambit. Just 1 round required by the team. They have 5 opportunities. This is number 1, and they've only got 3 rifles. 1 minute 10. Now Zipex has made his way. Oh no, he hasn't. I thought he was in short B, but he's just looking over the wall. 3 players in B for the CT side, and it's Glaive who will start making his way towards the A side. Passive from Astralis, giving up a lot of map control, trusting Device towards the toilets. And Glaive will be the man to give him support to the right-hand side. You've got to be careful. The Dren is going to win his duel. Device missing again. This has not been a good game for him so far. Some crucial opportunities have come and gone, but there's only so much information for Gambit. Kiabi forced into the open, but the smoke will save him just in time, but not in time to get that kill.
The entry frags are bound here for Gambit as they march their way in. Another head spotted, another head shot. Adren doing great work, so is Dozier now. Just Dupree to try to stay alive here for Astralis in this map. 1 versus 5. The bomb is down. Could it be any more difficult? He'll find himself an engagement. Can't get the kill though. Another player spotted by the truck. Key information here for dupreeh, but still stuck by back. The entire team still alive. For Gambit, they know where he is. Grenades, additional grenades sailing in, and there it is. Gambit, they win the first map against Astralis. Overpass is theirs. They have an advantage in this series.